ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crusader Kings 3 the Normandie series here on the Lord Master channel. In this episode, we're about to go on a grand tour here. It'll be a taxation tour, as we've got our bunch of monetary income fresh off from the Crusade, in which we got the lion's share of the wealth, and among other things. So what better way to spend it than to go on a grand taxation tour? Because I have big plans, at least for Alice, given that, she wants loyalists in her kingdom. That's what she wants. And Grand Taxation Tour is a great way to indicate, to show if there is anybody that's willing to say, it's like, hey, do you wish to pay up? If you don't, we're going to get rid of you. So there'll be plenty of traveling here, and they say it may take some months, even though all the activities that we're doing up there, well, that'll still change. Oh. And we'll have it up to the max. It don't cost that much. I mean, I would like to become exalted among men. Give me more knights and second opinion up. And starting success of the tour, because we're doing this because after this tour, when this is all done, I'm going to get more renown. Because getting more renown is now a priority, as I want to get the next dynasty legacy to get me more domain limit. And speaking of domain limit, this is a great way to pass the time without having resorted to go into war yet. Because the realm must remain in peace for the next 5 years. Oh yeah, and I forgot to do this. Bestow royal favor, which are going to increase knights' salaries and prerogatives. Because I do not like that Lord Knight effectiveness that we have here. So it would be best to get it up. And after that, I'll give royal favor to the peasants. And meanwhile, personal agenda. Let's see. I need to know exactly who I can trust or not. Trust is the theme. Fortunately, everything went well in your personal agenda unfolded successfully with minimum unexpected challenges. And I might even consider, after this grand tour, I might even consider go on a scheme of self-improvement to improve one of my skills. Either stewardship or intrigue or really focus. Marshal's kind of like whatever to me. Like, why on earth do I have a English longbow still? Put on the Normandie sword. That gets your knight effectiveness up. Because you're never gonna hunt, as I'm craven. I wouldn't hurt an animal unless my life depends on it. Ready? Let's go. The time has come to depart for my grand tour of England. My court is packed, ready, rearing to go. First stop will be my friend Earl Sewell's castle over in Berkshire. I look forward to helping the people to contribute to Treasure Dome by any means available. The King of England's subjects should certainly not have any surplus hidden from the crown after this tour is concluded. Again, I've spent a lot of money and I'd like to get some of that back. We'll be making fortune again after we fully reinforced our men-at-arms. Minster Abbey. Oh, don't do that. It's just a bit of mold. Oh, became ill. I'm stirred awake from my midnight slumber. I hear the cheers of revelry and merriment slowly approaching from behind me. Blanchness appears. Her breath rank of the stench of wine. By God, there's a wonderful den of sin just a few minutes away, my queen. Let's stay here a while and make ourselves stupid with merriment. Oh, no, I can't. I'm ill. Can't be doing that stuff. Go for scientific. Culture, fascination, progress. as you want to get this in 8 years' time. The grim smell bombing textures and mass of assault my senses as I make my way through Mr. Shabal's workroom. It looks up at the auction that he is preparing. Time has come behind us, and there are several ways to treat your cold. I've said that the texture would suffice. Choice is yours and yours alone. It will not be pleasant, he says. Did no one is necessary. When Boldar entered my chambers, he was followed by an air most foul. Stitch's origin was a jar in his hands. Mixture of cow's tongue and herbs to repulse his highness. Blood proceeds to smear it on my chest, almost wretched. In the end, the poultice turned out to be just what I needed. For now, the worst of my symptoms are alleviated and the world seems a little brighter. Excellent work. Created a cadet branch, Butler. House Butler. Alright. My arrival at Rosil's castle in Berkshire has marked a fanfare befitting the Queen of the Realm, and the presence of my coffin wagon tax collectors quickly noted. Don't with me with the burden of formalities. Visiting good friends is always a welcome reprieve. So Wolf's outlines planned tour shows you that Berkshire is so fair and fine a land, and merely gazing on her towns and fields will be entertainment enough. Only time will tell. Let's get to it. Master Bodo of the Lance Bearers. Lithuania. I gotta do something about these Prussian and Lithuanian prisoners soon. My friend Nero is decided to show me his barracks. A sea of shimmering iron stands for me. Each soldier seeming unfazed by the weight on their bodies. These are fine soldiers. It seems to waste to have them out all day. Well, perhaps they could be managed more efficiently. This is not a good chance as this is stewardship and Marshall, and he knows all about Marshall. I do not. Advice didn't work. He gains mismanagement. Something else I want to look up, but I tend to forget. As I continue my tour around the grounds of the barony of Reedon, I hear unfamiliar voices all around us. Suddenly, I find my entire party surrounded by women in hoods pointing knives and bows directly at me. One of the assassins steps towards me and presses her knife to my side. Happy hunting, my queen? We come hunting queens. Though I'm startled, I really become scared as it's just an act. The assassin gives me a wink and I observe the weapons immediately tired of the wood and dull on all sides. They expect to play along and form the time of my life. Have at you, witch! The barony of Reading, says like truly opulent and accessible place with the bloated arrow as its ruler. Everywhere I look, I see signs all pointing to one thing: undeclared taxable enemies. Livestock counts seem higher than expected. The arrows of boat seems almost luxurious enough to be for a queen. Mary, who is, 0 years old, which she's about, a couple of months old, many months old, says I should tax this excess, since the Earl has clearly not been paying his dues. Those are her first words. Remember that. Alright. Tax the Earls. You paid the tax. Yeah. Trying to think of my mind. There we go. We're starting to get a good income now. Although it should be kept well in mind that we have a new Rome priest. I guess the old one died. Oh, my countdown does not endorse. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You probably noticed that tax income's very, very low. Reduced by 99% due to being above domain limit. Yeah, that won't matter in a few years' time when we get the domain limit up. Because remember, as we count down the days. Then we back up and then we'll start making more fortune, and the vassal will respect me more slowly as the reign continues. I've concluded my visitation here at Buckshot. Now, when my procession prepares to depart, the hero and his court all lined up to see me part with everyone present. It's time to collect tribute for bestowing them with my presence. It's time for tribute. Thank you very much. A visit to the Count's Arms. Every inn on the way is equally overpriced, and it's not too difficult to notice our entourage. And it's not like we're making a huge effort. Everyone stops talking the moment we walk in. There's only one man that approaches us, eager to join our table. As he starts talking, really considers something. Looks like he's not going to stop anytime soon. You know, it's then my claim war against Duke Scandal. Scandal? Scandal? How do you say your name? The Hillbuff ended in defeat. Better this than silence. Tell me more. I may not have the martial skill, but hey, every little bit helps. There you go. The negative modifiers that you saw is gone, for the most part. As I journey through the dense woods of Newberry, I stumble upon a hidden grove. Hanging from the trees are a series of intricately woven love knots, usually made by a young man, are left in a secret place for his beloved to find. If she unties it, it signals her accepts the proposal. Wolfhelm, the blind, the Chancellor, explains to you, with a smile playing his lips. Eva, on the other hand, there's an opportunity for mischief. Let's decide to interpret this fine. Let me see. These knots are mine now. I shall collect them, because I'm arbitrary. I take all the love knots. Several couples will be very confused. Bank! I can take the hit. I'm reminded of something else. When we come back from the travels, you need to do these couple of things. Build a Christian religious building, get a donor portrait, and consecrate holy well, because we've not done that for English rulers yet. And of course, scheme for self-improvement. Unfortunately, that actually gives me stress because I'm craving. So, okay, don't do that then. Don't do that. As much as I would like to, but that ain't it. Of course, we need a few knights to come in. Need some loyalists. Manchester, Minster. Alright, receiver, welcome wherever you queen to the gates of the Duke's Castle in Hampshire. Covering tax because we get to go on my visit clear. My vassal receives all works of difference. Ango explains the planned evening banquet, promising entertainment the victuals will offer near the standards of court's dinners. The Duke of Wessex is the only finest food he has to offer. Let's begin. This evening, I'm seated next to the Duke's spymaster, Wolf Cthulhu, watching as he sighs to a plea of longing. Truly, I grow tired of life here in Hampshire. I long to elevate my station in life. My talents are wasted here. Lately, I've been thinking of slipping off back to Middlesex, where I can really show what I'm worth. All right, St. General, but can I really steal from the Duke's coat? Get a strong loyalty hook on her. Influential concubine. Whatever makes me more avaricious, so of course, come with me. Oh, he became a rival. It's highly likely he will not accept tribute, so he's the man to get rid of. Prevented a courtier from moving to court. hush, a hush falls over it as a musician plays a note too hard. Sharp twang cuts through the noise like a slap. The melody dies. My rival and vassal stiffens in place. Ah, my apologies, the musician stammers, low of his instrument in hand. A few guesses pause mid sip of their wine, glancing about uncertainly. Duke Harlington, eh? Forces a smile, but the flush in his cheeks is unmistakable. A small mishap, he says lightly. Let us not lose joy of the evening over this. We already begun. Fetch my tambourine. I didn't pick up the poetry. I emerge from my slumber after another peaceful night staying with the Duke. As I regain my consciousness, I feel something heavy beside me that wasn't there before. I turn to Sarah, sitting at the end of my bed, fully clothed. Good morning, my queen. Thought it proved to give you a gift. But what a finer gift than you than given my conversation. The gift is certainly expected. It's a pleasant day to wake up for. Okay. You know he doesn't like me now. Organized muster rolls for faster levy reinforcement rate. Cooldown is not yet expired. I've inherited the Earldom of Bedford. That's part of Essex, right? And I gained a bookworm trait. Naval-binding rolls that I once embarked upon a journey of exploration and mastery, igniting unforeseen flame that fuels my purpose and unveils the side of me that is not known on my own. There's now a bookworm. This character finds solace and comfort in the world of books. They have an insatiable appetite for knowledge and spend countless hours immersed in literature, exploring different realms and perspectives. Their love for reading encourages a culture of intellectual curiosity and continuous learning within the court. So, my prowess is lowered, even though I'm also ill. Keep that in mind. But ups to learning lifestyle experience. Also, I'm way over the domain limit, and you better do something about it fast. Well, who could we appoint? I just thought it was a stupid idea. And this is to reflect as part of the role-playing thing with, sycophant officers, that the realm's bureaucracy is filled with flatterers and yes-men who secure their positions through loyalty to the crown rather than merit. All this serves unwavering support for the monarch's decision. It feeds incompetence and corruption in the government. I know who exactly because of the people that I'm friends with, especially those who are not yet landed, and those who are going to get landed soon. Piacoy, you get to have land. You will have Bedford. Believe it or not. Yes, you will have the minority vassal stance. You are a friend of mine. But I'm only doing this just to reduce it, and it's within Essex. So we stay close together. House Benjamin. Earl. I mean, after all, you do have a lot of money, so invest. So he leaves this entourage of mine, and he's no longer my tutor. He was the wisest of us all, and he will remain so. Get it up. Make travel safer. Remember, when we found Pirko, he was 10 years old at the coast of Tripoli. He is old enough to remember my great-grandmother, and as well as my father. So it was about time he's earned himself some land. I have concluded my visitation of Hampshire. Now my procession prepares to depart. I know what he's gonna do. He gave in. Okay, he actually did. My Chancellor Overhaul approached me, claiming to be given the Duke's Wessex permission to come join his court in the place of my own. Letters passed would certainly prove my saying what the Duke, but his insult is stealing it. Oh, he did. Hey, look, he didn't. He resented me when I tried to get his girl to. But I'll say no. Well, it was mine. Took to play that game. Visited Stonehenge and turned away. As my entourage comes to a halt at Salisbury, the call is made for Earl Walter of Wiltshire to receive me, but after a time what is more than generous, not even a lowly servant appears to greet me. The calls are made many times more, but receive no answers save for the chirp of wild birds and the whistle of gentle winds. It's become clear that I've been turned away at the gates. Nostalgia has in doing so insulted the crown. This insult will not soon be forgotten. You over there! I hear a distant cry around the final plow holding peasant. His breath from the agitated stops. I'm sorry, Your Highness, but rare is the chance to talk to you. I understand you must grow the realm, but the royal buildings that you have built here have left us without a job. He clutches his plow. The realm always comes first. Several peasants gathered around me asking for stories from my life. I think back on what I could tell them. Two stories jump to mind. One is when I became friends with King Piety and Francis, a lovely memory. On the other hand, when I was victorious in Earl Matthew's Claim War was a more awesome tale, likely inspired loyalty and fervor. That won't happen here. I'll tell the first story. Prince Bishopric of Somerset. What are you doing? I asked. Well, Hodar, I found it hard to fall asleep tonight. That's because traveling has disturbed my body's normal routine. As I stepped under the campfire, Hodar was awake as well, despite not having night watch duty at the moment. So I had to sit down next to him. With a contemplative look in his face, Hodar points at the night sky and smiles. Stars, sometimes I just like to stare at them. Magnificent, aren't they? I could thank God to witness such wonders every day. I'm sure I'll recognize some of the constellations. Is that the constellation of the Sock of St. Catherine? The next 10 years. Hey, friend. I find myself curious to see how the lowlives of Devon live, so I paid a visit to an establishment where the locals seem to be growing quite rowdy. One man snaps top of the tail, commanding the attention to everyone who nears him. What do you even need a duke for, anyway? But feeds us this shit mead? That he expects our undying loyalty? The entire building erupts to thumping and applause. Clearly my duke is not popular in his own home. Arrest these traitors. Who the hell do you think you are? Damn drunk. Extra clergy tax. 40 gold. Barony of Exeter seems like a truly opulent and excessive place, with the bloated duke as its ruler. Everywhere I look, I see signs which all point to one thing: undeclarable tax immunities. It's the same event, but this courtier says it. Tax the duke, and tax some more. Tax. Word is reaching my plans been interrupted. It's no longer possible for me to pay a royal visit to Gloucestershire. It's not spelled the end of my tour. It's great disappointment. Child ruler, right? So we'll skip over. As I journey through the forests of Wessex, I come across a rare sight. A Glastonbury thorn tree in full bloom. This is unusual, as these trees are known to flower only around Christmas. Glastonbury thorns said to have sprouted from the staff of Joseph of Arimathea, who was said to visit Glastonbury with the Holy Grail. This unexpected bloom is seen by part of the sign of good fortune. Wilhelm suggests that you should celebrate this auspicious occurrence. A good omen. Well, let's continue with renewed vigor, I think. Party inspired by vigor makes good progress. I don't have to try to trade, do I? The massive chopping block in the middle of a logging camp of Bath has seen much use. It looks like it's always been there, before man walked this earth. Around me, laborers toiled, resplendent with sweat, though of low birth, here free of the weight of the world. I stared at the splitting axe and stood upright in the giant stump. My tense shoulders, laden with stress, begged for an opportunity for release. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Craven. Now, manual labor is beneath me. I'm well again. I entered a local tavern in Bristol, weary from the travel, thirsting for wine. My quiet contemplations were disturbed by a sound of a slamming fist of splintering wood, followed by a scornful spit. That vile sycophant! The house de Normandy! I spit on them all! Everyone knows that the true rulers of England are those of East Anglia! Keep my profile low. It appears that my queenly manner de Normandy on my garments is giving me away. I must take a step before this situation escalates. Perhaps a tax break would change your mind. Touring the grounds here. Mustering. Just one more push, my queen. The baby's almost there. A scream escapes from others I bear down the last time. Pain is everywhere. Too much over me. Then it's over. I did it. Is she alright? I barely recognize her voice. Is that a girl? The midwife does not answer me. Does not even look at me. No, she has eyes on moving infinite arms. Is it? Why is she breathing? Do something! My son was stillborn. Ooh. I mean, heaven forbid that anything like that could happen to me. I'm trying to think of another thought on my mind that just came around. What is it? Where did you find a woman like that in Bedford? Nevertheless, he's going to have a family. And he's a theologian too. In addition to being a scholar. Anyways. But again, I put him there not because he's Jewish. I put him there because Alice is friends with him. Views Pirko is a father figure who raised him. Who raised him properly. And as well as, well, she wants loyalists. That's the sycophantic ideas. Pay up. Gave in. While visiting my Earl, Philippine is holding in Warwickshire, I soon managed to lose my tour group, leaving me all alone in his quarters. Now perhaps would be a perfect opportunity to get to know him a tiny bit better. Maybe I should look around Let's see if I can find anything unusual, items of interest, or things you want me to find. Oh, Craven, I got better things to do. As I traverse the dense forests of Mercia, Constance, one of my companions, draws your attention to a particular carving on a tree. It's the motif of the three airs, each surrogate ear with the other, forming a triangle. This symbol is often associated with the Tinners Guild, a powerful organization of miners in the area. It's said that they use the symbol to mark the location of hidden treasures or dangerous traps from those who wish to steal from them. Do you dare to investigate further? Let it investigate. She has a knack for this. Yeah, successfully manages the traps, navigates the traps to find hidden treasure. Medallion of the Tinners Guild. "79 years old, and you might drop it at any given time, despite your healthiness." Middlesex, you got it. Because Lord knows that it's been through a lot. Sure. You teach her everything that she knows. Anglo-Saxon to Dutch. Great old Edward. As soon as I lay eyes on William, I catch my breath. It's as if God himself blessed one with the beauty of 1,000. Time sometimes I take in his delicate features. Such beauty is wasted on this peasant realm. Simply must have him in my court. Don't you know he's a cousin of yours? I'm sure I wouldn't mind. Tribute. Pay up. At the village we're staying at, the number of locals offered their services as faculties. They'll be able to gather feed for horses in a much more efficient way than my normal servants would. There are good things about the abilities of these sorts of laborers, based on the conversations I've had of other travelers whenever stopped by the inns and taverns of Castleton. Hire them. Our travels depends on our horses. Faster travel. As I traverse through the rolling hills of the Duchy of York, Simon spots a hidden path known as a snickaway. That is very noticeable amidst these snickaways, a term they used in York to avert the small paths or alleyways, or are often shortcuts, but just as often they lead to nowhere or even danger. The decision to explore the snickway could potentially save you time, but the risk of getting lost or encountering unforeseen threats is also real. Roger, a guest, advises caution, reminding you that the hills of York are known for their treacherous terrain and occasional bandit activity. Send Eva to scout ahead. I think it's pronounced Eva, rather than Eva, since she's Galician. Scout success. She returns to Snickaway, reporting a clear path ahead. I'll show up. Oh, obviously something. I'm never gonna choose that. Might go for this just to reduce the cost. Unless you want to have some natural dread. Actually, serve the crown would be good. Given that I'm arbitrary these days, and I think an overseer Pav sounds a little bit like her. Given what she's into. Have we seen that master tree before? I swear we're going in circles, my care master. Shouts. Perhaps he is right. We see no sign of getting out of this forest in hours. Are we still even in Jedburgh? The dense tree makes it possible to tell the time of day or even the direction we're heading. I just we'll never make it to those things. I know exactly where we are. Found a correct path. The man who formerly rebelled against me, one of the key people, is responsible for all this. So yeah, despite being craven, it's best to keep your dread up for times like these. Off for Courtiers. Greetings, my sensible liege. I offer you the service of my Kohen, Shlomo Yitzchaki, a highly skilled man with an extensive knowledge of the metaphysical conundrums. Hope this gesture of generosity is well received that you allow him to serve in your court. That name's familiar. So he's a Kohen. Kohen is basically like the realm priest over there. And that is actually a historical character. Rashi, Shlomo Yitzchaki was an 11th century French rabbi and revered Jewish scholar, renowned for his comprehensive commentaries on the Talmud and the Hebrew Bible. His works had a profound and enduring impact on Jewish study, law, and are integral to traditional Jewish education. So this character is historical, but might deviate compared to his real-life counterpart based on the culture and faith of his place of origin. He might also appear slightly outside of his historical date of prominence by around 1 to 5 years. Well, what do you know? So we got a man who's patient, humble, and just. Although he wouldn't like me being arbitrary. French, rabbinic, historical character. So basically his way of saying is well, I found someone who is wiser than me. And this is actually a historical character. He's inspired. He wants to write a magnificent book. We have the money for it. Come on in, Shlomo. It almost sounds like an insult when you say his name. But he is known as Rashi. He speaks French and High German, but he doesn't know Anglic. You want to write a book? Sign right here. Thank you and believe in me, Highness. My beneficiary, Shlomo, smiles rigidly before tilting his head. However, I'm not sure what to write about. Recently I've been interested in topics related to scholarly matters. What do you think would be a good focus for the book? Let me see, knowing her based on her education. I'll say the book will be about stewardship. Another good stewardship book would be suffice. Wow, we brought a historical character. Thank you, my friend. In fact, you're going to be sticking around here. Come here. And he's good with the aptitude. He might become inspired again. You're the guy who writes books for a living, so keep it up. Yeah. Rashi was a French rabbi commentator who authored comprehensive commentaries on the Talmud and Hebrew Bible. As I just looked up his Wikipedia. Oh wow, we become friends. Former enemies and now we're friends? I didn't think it would be possible. It seems I'm not the only honored guest at Duke Richard's court. You see, I've sat beside a fascinating wolf, and conversations left me mostly. My skills in the matter of war are legend, Queen. If you had me, I'd gladly lend those skills to you. It is rare to find one finds such a fascinating person without a home of their own. But is there room to court for him? Well, he's an old man, but he'd make a damn good commander. There are no jungles in England. So he's pretty much well traveled. Or he's learned that craft. Or... Sure. Come on in. You refused. Oh, I can't wait to get rid of you, old friend. My host, Duke Whitthreads, brought me out of his home to the local tavern. All around the city, wretched and weak, engaged in drink and debauchery. But the Duke assures me that the maid served at this establishment is simply to die for. As the first round passes my lips, I feel alive. The drink hits like a ton of bricks. But I feel that tonight will be a night of endless revelry. How'd I do that? Let's show some restraint. Sounds a craven character would do. In a corner of our camp near Queen's Ferry, a shrieking uproar breaks the calm. My personal physician bulldog confronts my cabin master, Simon. Or Simon. Accusingly, holding a treasured brooch. You thief! That was my mother's! Bulldog exclaims. I was blazing my gun. Simon vehemently denies claim. You lying fop doodle! It has always belonged to me. Now look, he's English, so he's pronounced as Simon. And since he's of Rabbinic faith and falls in Jewish ways, he could be pronounced as Simon to some people. Let me think. Those two become rivals. I say we do not have time for this. Simon takes it. Under the moonlighted fall cook, I overhear an intimate chat between my guest, Petra, and my courtier. Oh, Petra, my brave treasure, you make these starlit nights unforgettable, confess. Well, voice trembling, just response on it. I never expected to find someone who understands me so well. It would seem as if love is blossoming in my entourage. Well, given that I'm a woman of intrigue, I say, drama. It would be a real shame if this got out. Learn it and expose it. Exposed. Rank. Visit the capital of the Kingdom of Scotland. Very good. Certain kinds of edible berries from Surrey have gained a positive reputation around parts of the region for their supposed medicinal properties. They're being shipped out in greater numbers to neighboring areas as a result, bolstering the local economy. Very good. For as long as any county or domain has the very good medicine county modifier, you will have access to the decision to buy valuable medicinal berries. It will be in Surrey for 20 years. Can I take the decision now? I find my beneficiary, Shlomo, surrounded by scrolls and manuscripts, fiercely flipping through pages. Your Highness, there are so many areas of stewardship that are worthy of attention. Laws, trade, money. I don't even know where to start. What topic does your museum for? You decide. Countess Surrey. Berries in this region are renowned for their medicinal properties. They are sold for good prices that can be found amongst the apocryphs far and wide. Can't get it because I'm currently traveling. I'll get it as soon as I come home. Turn to the muddy streets of Jetbag. People are a rare sight. Empty houses, derelict. A child plays with a dog in silence and hides away with seasonal entourage. The local priest points his ladies on we phone. My admired Queen Alice, Countess Wolfman, welcomes us to all. It's a big honor to have you visit our humble domain. If you'd like to, please stay the night and join us for supper. Given I'm a reveler, I'm glad to accept your invite. The oil lamps cast a light so feeble it's nearly imperceptible. An old servant serves us food. Fish, unspiced. Countess Wolford seems a bit too nervous, talking about the difficulties of ruling such a poor area. The impossible taxation. The last priest that we had left just a couple of months ago. So what is there? What a lot of wine. She breaks her crying mess immediately after, burying her face in hands. I must be honest with you. My intention of inviting you here was to steal from you, my lady. I hope you could forgive me. What are you, a craven, like me? No, you're just and trusting. I'll say, let's all forget that this even happened. A silhouette of coverland looms ahead. The rugged outlines of hill forts command the landscape. A brutish-looking group of warriors approach their leader, Corson. My queen, he nods. We are the men from Earl Roger's garrison. For a small fee, we can protect you on your journey. What say you? How much is for both? A Cumbrian man who is strong and he's an albino. We need someone like him in our ranks. Don't look around. I'll double what Roger is paying. Safe for travels. As he managed to get through a dangerous path at Cumberland, suddenly a strange feeling of someone is bothers him. I don't remember saying this about all day. He was keeping the rear guard when we entered the war-torn province. I suppose it wasn't the best idea knowing his bravado. He's probably already gunning for the front lines. Unless he's just lost somewhere in the hills. Let's mount a search party for him. We found him. Given that you're unreliable, I think we found another loyal bodyguard. Ah, Reinhardt's a good one. No, take Ralph. Cumberland is home to a wayside shrine I happen to be passed by today. Locals tell us it is uncommon for travelers to spend a few days praying there. Word is said that doing so will ensure safe passage for one's journey. I'm not sure how helpful praying this would be, but I should at least pay my respects to God while here. Say a quick prayer and move on. I need to get moving again. Mystery Plays of York. As my party travels through the dense forests of the Duchy of York, I stumble upon a group of actors rehearsing for the upcoming York Mystery Plays. These plays, a tradition in the region, are a series of short dramas depicting stories from the Bible, performed by the local guilds on wagons that move around the city. The actors sing at party, invite you to join them in rehearsal. Adolf, the party, the leader of the troupe, offers you in a play of Noah's Ark. You can participate or simply watch and enjoy the performance. Perhaps you can learn something new about these biblical tales. I'd rather watch and learn. I gain a deep understanding of the biblical tales depicted in these plays. A pleasant stroll around through the Richmond forest makes me really appreciate the landscape around us. Luminous green, such as a lady's dress made from the finest fabric, the rays of the sun filter through the canopy as liquid echo. A vibrant smell, perhaps campfire. Turn around the entourage observe the caravan master Simon's livid face. Fire! He screams, pointing at the not so distant place where he was been trapped. Adam, you go. Manages the rescue with great difficulty. As I'm trying, I came upon two women arguing on the side of the road. One of them, a pretty young woman, appears to be beaten nearly to death by a second older woman. After stopping the woman, I quickly surmised that the older woman is accusing the young maiden of having some lower relations with her husband. The young maiden is vehemently denying these claims. will not immediately connect this affair, as the lady would be an instinct to intervene in one way or the other. Threaten the old hag, even though she's not that old, to have the young man attended to. The chapel. Burned crops, barren fields, disposal war. Our pace gets faster after we see the first corpses. The only possible path passes by an army camp. Look behind us, no other way. I nod my guards and they nod back. Time to grip of their swords. An army commander stands at the entrance of the camp. Allies to the enemy, huh? Yeah, scratching his nose. Care to spare a prisoner? Clearly pointing it at him. Oh no, he's a Superman. He's a Crusader. Maybe we can reach an understanding. Pay him money. My beneficiary, Shlomo, approaches me with a thoughtful expression. Is there anyone special to you, Your Highness? He must spread my irritation at such a personal question on my face, because he continues. I mean, is there anyone you wish to dedicate your commission artifact to? It's starting out well, but a meaningful inscription would make it feel even more personal. There's no need for a dedication. I mean, my ever-loving relationship with Gervais was short-lived. While traveling on the road in the east riding, we discovered to our horror that the number of food supplies had gone bad. Perhaps earlier in our trip, the food got mixed with a lot of water by accident. Now it's rather moldy. There aren't any settlements nearby, so we need to forage and hunt for some food to hold us over. Those will waste time. On the other hand, we'll perhaps tough it out. Ration out what food we still have and hurry to the nearest settlements. Take our time to forage and hunt. On my tour on the East Riding, I found a rare moment when I'm not being ferried around by my host or being expected to make an appearance anywhere. I see places of worship filling for the day, taverns beginning to welcome the early drinkers, beggars there on the streets just pleading for the crumb to eat. The sentence must be conducted as a settlement. Almost there. As I and my entourage ride along, I hear murmurs echoing through the ground. I order a boy to ride ahead. When he returns, he informs me there's a gang of illegal poachers just ahead of us. Though it's no concern of mine, it would doubtlessly greet you with my vassal Earl Adolf, as ever would have rid the grounds of this illegal activity. I could round up these ruffians and present their heads and hands to Earl Adolf of the East Rider without much issue. Given I'm craven, I'm just gonna avoid them. Time for tribute. And he gave in. Thank you very much. Also, what? Typhus. Where? It's definitely going to spread in Normandy and might come to parts of southern England. There remains to be seen. Outlaws at Bordercombe. So me and my party traverse through the soggy wetlands of the Duchy of York. I cover across the ancient Roman fort of Bordercombe. However, it appears that the fort is not as abandoned as it seems. A group of rough-looking individuals, clearly outlaws, have made it their stronghold. Their aggressive posturing and menacing gleam in their eyes. It's clear they won't welcome visitors. Some of my caravan suggests a detour, but that would delay the journey considerably. You have a decision to make. Try to sneak through at night. Sneak attempt fails. Party is spotted, but the outlaws' sentries are forced to retreat and find another way around. Delayed 7 days. it's relatively new, so we'll see how it spreads. Trader, please. Yeah. 1 sec. Where is that disease? We better not reach the Thames. At an inn in East Saxe, we met some rowdy but otherwise friendly sailors whose ship was anchored at the harbor nearby. The merchants owned the ship were in town trying to sell their merchandise. While they did so, the sailors had nothing better to do but to spend money on wine. They chatted eagerly with me about their adventures and what their employers were up to. We were transporting some metals, cured leather, and other things just a week ago, when the wind simply gave up on us. One sailor named Hippo said we had to wait for the winds or we could continue. I'm not sure we want to work with these merchants anymore. I don't think they know how to trade well. That's why they're struggling to sell these goods. Complete master. Can you tell me more about those goods? What are the recent trends in commerce? Yeah. Raise up the tax. It's spreading more. My host paid me to look away from a certain room. Okay. Also, I would like to have some more. Tax the euro. Gotcha. God, has Normandy suffered enough? I think this is about as much as it's going to spread. You got it. Oh, it's cancer. He was one of the good ones. Hey up. I'm here. Alright. We'll deal with these unruly vassals a little later. That'll up the tax a bit. Seclusion, isolate capital. And all that. It's the same old soup. I beg you, my liege. My blind Chancellor Overhaul approached me with pleading eyes, which he don't have. You need to do something about the food served at court. Well, he'd like presents. Food, foreign emissaries grimace at our table, and the neighboring rulers and artists use our traditional dishes as examples of poor taste and barbaric habits. Decent food is cheaper for 15 years. Fine, I'll hire some foreign cooks, so it'll be set to decent food. It can be set again, but at least it'll be cheaper. I'm sure one day we'll have to make those adjustments if you can afford it, which we can. Baby steps. It'll please the vassals a little more. You can hold the court again if you wish. But there's another thing I want to do. Oh, actually there's a big investment I want to make. Bruges. Honorary third capital. Build a Belfire Bruges. The stunning Gothic belfry soaring over the marketplace of Bruges, dictating life in the entire city. Its enormous tower covered in spires and statues was constructed out of brick and stone with a rectangular pattern rising into the octagonal upper stage where the bells are held. This will definitely increase the taxes here and development and add prestige of her powerful vassals on the council for the holder of this holding, which is me. It'll take 3 years' time. Please remain at peace. Don't do any, revolt wars. In the earldom of Northamptonshire lies a field that would be perfect for a large annual fair. 2 local nobles, Earl Henry and Duke Robert, petitioned me to be the receiver of the charter that would allow them to hold a fair in my name. Oh, yes, Scaly, I didn't know you. Suffolk, which is up there, and East Anglia is over there. I did not know you're a known murderer. Oh, he's a sadist. The charter will be granted to the town of Sudbury. What's that holding a Bedford like? Earl Henry. Sudbury. Where's Sudbury? It's in your domain somewhere. And that is the Earl Henry you speak of. Of course, you got a lot of piety, old friend. There's this tradition of bound by faith. Only characters of the same faith can inherit. So, which means I'm never going to get that title back if he were to die without an heir. No, that means somebody of the same faith is going to inherit the land, even if it's one of the courtiers. That's how that works in their culture. Latest work of my kinsman, Captain Hamelin, has become all the rage of court lately. Deals with a piece of memory and what we leave behind, and Hamelin's publicly dedicated to me. When heritage takes shape, the mightiest women must lead the earth. Their deeds, their acts, their swollen worth, and hope only for memory's grace. Time of conquest ended in peace. So far, I kept my thoughts to myself, but the words grown too dramatic to ignore much longer. All I could say that's truly heartfelt. Host of the Viscount, mercenary company of the Norman. We got a lot of days ahead. There's no end to the opinions and wants of my daughter and heir, Mary. Half the time she's trying to tell me what to do instead of the other way around. But aggravating, it's a fine line to walk. So she's kind of like me in a way. Haha, Typhus got to him. Hope you get it too. Highness, my beneficiary Shlomo smiles at just me with ink-stained hands. My book, my masterpiece, is finished. Behold, a modest compilation of English architecture, both current and historical, flush of extravagant marginalia and informative illustrations. The cover is wood. It's been displayed to display a repeating image of interlaced knot patterns. Building construction time reduced greatly. Oh hell yeah! That's a court artifact. Put that on now. Yeah, that's a book artifact, and that's going to stay there, because that's part of who we are. This English architecture helps me with the stewardship game. And buildings will be built faster, like this one. Now it's going to be 11 months instead of 3 years. Wait, don't we have Royal Architect? Well, sire, why didn't you tell me that you can be a court architect? "10 months now." And by the way, Shlomo, since you are a historical character, I'd like to befriend you. Patronage. The fair in Northamptonshire. Duke Robert presents you with wares from all over the world. Cloth from the furthest reaches of the Silk Road, locally grown crops, technological marvels from the East. Your Highness, what wares should we promote for our new fair? People more likely appreciate this area was stable and prosperous. Is it really? Talking about your county, dummy. Well, that could be argued. This area is in turmoil. Is it in turmoil? What's losing control then? Or so, technological. If the development area is low. Well, let's just import as much silk as we can. Compliment. And give him a gift. Just to increase the chances of friendship. Paying him a lot of money for writing that book. Whenever he becomes inspired again, we're gonna, you know, get it. Your Highness, what are you supposed to do with all this silk? Apparently, the demand for silk was not high in the area, and Bill Growers left a lot of expensive cloth unsold. A tumultuous start, but I'm sure locals can handle it now. I hope. An arbitrary satisfaction almost. Finally, the stubborn bureaucrats have been removed from the lower ranks. Those commoners who thought they could stand in my way. Prying into affairs I could never understand have been dealt with. The flow of power is now unhindered, and we can operate as we should, without tedious oversight. The road moves smoothly when the corruption is allowed to breathe a little. Without these meddling fools inspecting every detail, we can finally get things done. I'm pleased to see the system work as I designed it, efficient, quick, and most importantly, under my control. Sycophant officers for the best. Deeply satisfied now. 1 second. You just reminded me of the laws. Security investments will now go towards this mafia. Subsidized defenses. Garrisons are significantly expanded across the realm, ensuring every major town and city is fortified and protected. Road patrols are frequent, with guards actively deterring banditry, and night watches keep the city under close observation. The realm's safety is notably improved, but the cost of sustaining such an expensive security network grows heavier on the crown. Trial will be a bit faster and a bit more safer. The gorehounds will not like it, but the parochial vassals and minor landholder vassals will. Barely. Make it happen. Yeah. I've arrived in London to pay homage to you. Show my loyalty. Bring rich gifts for your master. Ah, yes, Perkoy. Thank you very much. That reminds me. Yes, you're reminded of a lot of things. You've been saying that a lot. Prisoners could be ransomed. Get out of here. Give me that money. And we're going to use that money. Okay, you're the seneschal now. You're going to use that money to build a local Christian religious building now. Let me see. Opinion. Monthly lifestyle. Actually, give me the large church this time. Each little devotion you have, you'll get some. We'll see you in 2 years. And eventually we'll do a donor portrait to go for a close family. Approached English artisans and Catholic priests about commissioning a donor portrait of myself in our Christian religious art of the local church, perhaps one depicting a scene from the scriptures. While the focus of this artwork is of course religious aspects, I specified this donor's portrait. Secondary focus should be on depicting myself and my close relatives. I hope to all see this religious art appreciate how my lineage is filled with people with admirable religious qualities, that the Normandie family should forevermore be associated with deep devotion to God. Praise be to the Lord. So, I just want to jump up on the renown, because the next one we're going to get, need 1,000 more. And we will be getting this. Better times are coming. Not going to be in a coordination ceremony of any kind. Don't have the money to travel. Disease is clearing out. I'm waiting for the winter to go away. Don't have the money to spare. Cutting cornerstones. They've been getting a lot of resilience, but needs more networks. Wondering what's going on over there. To pass the time, let me see. Holding management. Okay. Study with the monks at the nearest monastery. Excellent. So learning 2 up. More than one to vassal experience. Compatibility goes down a bit. Cultural fascination progresses faster. Meditative seclusion. That's what I need to do to pass that time. Embarking on an inner journey through meditation is no trivial thing. Many preparations will need to be made, the least of which is deciding where I shall retreat to. Location I choose to meditate will heavily influence the outcome of my journey. The rolling hills of Mortain. Woof. You know, that's where the typhus is, but the typhus is fading away. Sea is dangerous at this time. Just hire experienced captains and that's it, okay? Just take it slow. Coming over to meditate. As we traveled by the River Thames, we noticed a man loudly cursing his life, complaining about his treacherous crew. As we get closer, we see him standing by the remains of a small, wrecked trading vessel. My queen, can I ask for a moment of your time? I will happily pay for some food and assistance with repairing my boat. As the paint smiles with. Notice most of his goods have been well kept despite his misfortune. For a price, maybe. Pay me little, after spending it on a ship captain. As we walked through the streets of Sussex, there was a loud ruckus by one of the market stalls with two men yelling at one another. Before we could make our way there, a man has already stepped in between and tongued to them. "See, we'll be fine," tells the man with the stall with a smile and hands up a coin. And with that simple act of kind generosity, the day returns to normalcy. Turns his approach with no banner or mark telling me of any legion. Perhaps a wandering knight? An honorable knight like you should serve a lady like myself. That's gonna hurt. Disease is gone. We'll just gotta pass through. I don't think I'll catch it. Now we meditate for the next 6 months. That explains it. Just nice and peaceful. That's all I ever wanted. So it goes to medallion. Take that off. Put on the medallion. 2 of them. Up to stewardship. Nice and peaceful. Belfire Bruges is complete. If I had a lot of money, I would love to invest in this so I can upgrade more buildings, because I will be investing in Bruges heavily in future. Golden Age will be coming soon. It's been 2 years now. Amid a grand tapestry in my courtroom, my life took an unforeseen twist with tendrils of addiction and a singular flaw to end my being, casting dark hues upon the symbols of my power. Persuasive favoritism. It's said that the character plays favorites of the court, showing preferential treatment to a select few of their own dynasty. Their biased actions and decisions breed resentment and foster a sense of injustice among courtiers who feel overlooked and marginalized. Persuasive favoritism undermines morale and unity in the court. Of course, I always favor my dynasty, and in addition, landing a couple of people who are friends with me. I am what I am, and I do not regret. The clear views on the hilltops of Montaigne lended themselves well to pensive reflection. The remote location was a significant boon, giving me a welcome reprieve from the daily problems I have to deal with at court. Glad I took the time to do this. You improve your skill in meditation. While resting during our trials, resting when Sarah went to search for some water, It seemed he was really thirsty. He didn't have enough water saved in his water skin. Unfortunately, he realized too late that the water Simon drew looked like from standing water. Many are aware that standing water such as those found in marshes and wetlands are often dangerous for drinking. Perhaps he was too eager or thirsty and wasn't thinking straight. Anyways, Simon's already feeling a little sick. I know some herbs that can help. As a reminder for historical context, there's a stereotype that medieval people only drank alcohol or other drinks besides water, as water back then was such poor quality. However, medieval people knew how to distinguish between water that could be safely drunk and water that was not suitable for consumption. As such, they would, for example, avoid water from near urban areas or marshlands while seeking cleaner water elsewhere. The impressive defensive structure at the peak of Sussex Forest is quite something. As I wander along the outer perimeter, I notice a peculiar person in the distance. She appears to be mumbling to herself, all while stopping to crouch and collect what appears to be herbs of various kinds. Also, she's talking to the herbs. I approach her carefully, and as she looks up, various herbs displayed in her palm, I notice a spark of curiosity behind her eyes. What was an unspoken question? What does this herb do? Herbs procure. Found some poisonous herbs to help get rid of one of your rivals for an upcoming murder scheme. Maybe. Ah, yes, the Canterbury Pilgrims. Parlay. Brook. By the blood. God, what kind of a vicious scheme by Dirk Godric to have you murdered. Sage is being rounded up as I write this. Though Ed Drake's fault for now. Remains a threat to the future unless we take action, that is. The world might not be big enough for the two of us. Not as Garrett, someone else. Just a bit of mold. I gained ill again. I'm pregnant, blasted. He insisted that my humors are out of balance, and the best way to restore it will be through bloodletting. After consulting astronomical charts, he decided it should be blood from my armpits and temples. The bloodletting turned out to be just what I needed. For now, the worst of my symptoms was alleviated and the world seemed a little brighter. Excellent work, Bahadar. And now, Outpost Network. The Rome is essentially militarized, with large garrisons in every settlement, constant road patrols, and there are night watches even in small villages. Every inch of the Rome is secured, ensuring that banditry, crime, and unrest are swiftly dealt with. This unparalleled security, however, comes at an enormous financial cost, requiring heavy taxation or other sacrifices to sustain. The levy size is much reduced, which will make it easier to maintain all this. My husband and Duke's been tense lately when father says loans become apparent why. Please, be honest with me, says Greta. Is there someone else? Have you taken a lover? Of course not. I used to love your twin brother. He was good, but he died. Horribly. So I'd say, of course not. I don't know any other lovers, otherwise I would have seen something right in front of me. Because I have eyes. As my child grows up, it's become clear genetics plays significant roles in development. Fortunately, Mary turned out to be intelligent. Excellent. Alright. Sun and air. Just what we need. think. Ah, screw it. Go with John. It's the most generic name you can think of. King John. Can you imagine? King John of England. Was there ever a King John historically? King John of England. Let me look at that up. Yes, there was a King John in England. From 1199 to his death in 1216. Religious played for the earldom of Bruges. A group of religious men requested an audience one day to ask for some domain land in the earldom of Bruges in order to build a small monastery there. While the gold is asked is significant, my piety is on the line regarding it. How much? 100. Okay. Peaceful county. You'll get it. After learning that Shlomo will be guesting at a manor in the castle town of Lulu, I realized it was a perfect occasion to meet him. By my request, I was seated for the duration of dinner. We both had a great time. I was surprised how much we had to talk about. By the time I left, it felt as though we'd known each other a lifetime already. Such a pleasant man. By the way, this historical King John? No, he's not of House de Normandie, as I looked him up in his wiki. See, you and I are going to get along together as you are a historical character. Slow down, damn it. A lot cheaper now. Yeah, there's some dukes I want to get rid of. Especially my friend. Yes, known criminal. Rebelled against me long ago, and I think he's due for punishment. But we're not going to do that until, well, less than a year now. I would like to raise my children, but my traits, I don't want to be a bad influence on them, but I think I would have some degree of control of what to do with them, but I fear they may follow the path that I wouldn't be satisfied with. Traveling? Where are you going? Hey! Meet peers. Damn. Every little bit helps. All's well. You got inspiration. Wants to write about medicine. If I can afford it, how much? 300 gold, dang. Well, then you'll get it. Praise God. I received word that the large Catholic church order to be built has been completed in Middlesex. While it cannot match the great cathedrals, it's still a majestic sight. It will inspire and provide for the spiritual needs of the many Catholics for many generations. I'm glad I found such a religious site. Some renown for you. We're going to get the domain limit up more soon enough. Recently, I became aware of the rumors emanating from the council and admire my dynasty's renown. With about all being spread about my capabilities managing my own. And the curse of prior investigation matter, I was able to pinpoint a guilty counselor I suspect Earl Idun of Hertford is behind this scheme. Jesus Christ. Attempt to mitigate the damage. My diplomacy skill isn't that great. Earl Matthew, my cousin. He and I never saw each other eye to eye. At the New Guard. At the suggestion of my friend and then we visited recently reopened tavern, the New Garland. So named because the well-frequented prior incarnation burned down last year. Upon our arrival, we were greeted by a proprietor, a personable, competent woman. What a delight, my lady, to see you in this establishment. That fire nearly ruined me, but I hope you agree that the rebuilt venue is better laid out and brighter. Now, what's your pleasure this evening? I recommend a rabbit stew with gravy. Of course, I keep a well-stocked cellar for more refined customers. Let's start with some food and wine. Hopefully the new garden's cuisine compares well to the old. The rabbit stew is not only uninspiringly bland, it relies heavily on root vegetables to give the illusion of substance. Whereas the rabbit meat scarcely features the accompanying wine, halfway turned to sourness, compounds my disappointment. Is everything to your liking? Asked the innkeeper when she passed by our table again. I'll bring out some biscuits presently to eat while my nephew performs. Ha! Shrugged noncommittally. A few moments later, a plate of crackers arrives at our table, which I with suspicion. And a young man makes his way to the center of the room. At first, it is all solemn-sounding tunes on a small harp. After he has warmed to his work, someone hands him a viol and touches the crowd with a gesture. He begins to sing, accompanying himself in such a voice as never heard save in the sky. Songs of lost love, of desolate shores, it made yet more desolate. Sadder and sadder as the ballad grows, until we sit on the very edge of sobbing. So the sudden fling of his embroidered tunic, he dashes to some mirthful lit of old, all marriage making and happiness, and our spirits lift all around. Applaud and toss him some gold. My spy master asked for an urgent meeting today regarding a very valuable foreign asset he controls, who is from my dynasty and is working for me undercover in the court of Duke František of Mastergotland. The spy in question is none other than Nicta. And the problem is that we have the information she's about to be discovered, arrested, and probably killed. Earl Idun Hartford is asking me to fund a special and dangerous mission to rescue his agent and save her from horrible fate. Let me see. You'll proceed with the mission. I wouldn't want to lead it myself because I'm craven. You're not. You do it. His high prowess, his stewardship, his intrigue skill. Yeah. You do it. You're the man. I recognize the anxious look in my son's face. My queen, you must come quickly. Your kinsman, Captain Helen, was just seen leaving the chambers of your friend, Duchess of the... Just calling me one thing. Ah, there you. You did that to my friend. That's adultery right there. I ought to arrest you for that, then revoke your title. Because I've been wanting Wessex back at some point. Kill again. Serious trouble in the earldom. Traveling inside of my dominion lands of the earldom to oversee a minor building project. My spy approach claims need to plan again as our routes are bandits ahead waiting ambushes. As things come to light, my spies are able to detect these outlaws and saves options to avoid them altogether. This is a close call, but obviously the county's not safe due to the last optimal level of control. Oh my gosh, yeah. Because we know that this place has suffered so much. Diseases and river floods. Do it. Unfortunately, there's no one better than you. So get it done. In 3 years' time. Hold on, it was returned for the dangerous mission. His land supported more than a half rescue team dead and a mission failure. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to save them. Did you leave any behind? Duke Beaumont of Aquitaine, who's from the colony, who was married to him, brings me great pain. We're now lost. Negotiate alliance of Holland. Okay, cousin. Mary's returned from the meeting the peers. What happened to you? Say what? I cuckold? I cuckold no one. What the f are you talking about? This goes typically in the favor. It's not the word cuckold you think it means, okay? That might be a misinterpretation. Yo, it's you that cuckold. Yeah, we kind of know you did that. Pirates took my money. Yeah, there's not much I could do. Just sit back, relax, let the money come in, and more money's about to come in very soon. We're counting down the days now. I want to go to my antiquarian, let me appointment. You do. A month now. Arrived in London. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 years of peace. It's time to lay down our weapons and sever an age of peace. The English people have seen too many dark years of illness, as we've already saw from that revolt and the Crusades. Domain limit +1, control growth up for popular opinion all over. And every realm county, their development growth jumps up big time. My work is done, and exactly as it says it would be. I heard the scorn of my detractors. They're certain I would fail when I swallow my oath, but I proved them wrong. The voices of my doubters change, and I grant me the honor that once thought was beyond my reach. A new day is upon us, and a stronger England stands ready to meet it. Heck yes, let's reap the benefits. Soon. Tax income's going to start flowing in again. But of course, we're going to need more, as we're going to be well on our way to our next dynasty legacy. The royal favor. Deeply satisfied. How much is it to do this other thing I've not done before? Consecrate a holy well. But first, the justice ordinances. For some time now, it hasn't been mentioned across several meetings in different places of the realm about the need to enact significant justice reforms in order to pave the way for a smoother trade environment and better overall security in the provinces. If it started, I didn't commit myself with this line of thought, fearful of potential drain my covers could suffer. If I started creating expectations this reform could go forward. Now, in a close collaboration between my council and my vassals, a proper document with full expenses calculated is on the table, and everybody's looking at me to sign it. This would help to get the control of that other place down there in the road. But we do not have the money for that. I'm sorry, I cannot sign it in good faith. My husband laments the lack of a female companionship. I understand, of course, is the way of the world that soldiers and officials should be men, but even servants among courtiers are generally male. According to us, that's agreed that my household would benefit a handful of noble ladies to attend and entertain me on a request. It would be a few more people to feed and lodge. I suppose it would bring a little color to our life. Very well, invite a couple of ladies of your choice. Who died? Oh, my friend. Took Cornwall. At least you left behind a son, a daughter. The Holy Well. What is that? Sacred springs and holy wells play an important role in English folklore. And though there are many such sites scattered about my lands, I wish to consecrate one near my capital to elevate its importance in the eyes of faithful Catholics everywhere. Your capital will receive a county modifier for 20 years that increases popular opinion and control. The strength of this modifier is random, influenced by your level of devotion. Actually, hold that. Don't do it yet. Until you become Paragon of Virtue, enact the Holy Well. Alexander. Sickly. It happens sometimes. Two ladies in waiting are invited by my husband and have arrived at court. Mary and Anne. Okay then. I saw that. Ladies in waiting. Ladies in waiting. These are the you two you chose? Wheezing and the other isn't. It's for stress loss and phase length. And the only thing that they can do, as I do at Taberna, is keep an ear to the ground. They're just going to be there for now. So for the notice. Well, at least I get them for free. Construct hunting stations in Greenland. That adds more resilience, not networks. Waiting to get the Paragon of Virtue so I could do that thing. Ending bestow favor of scheme for knights, so this is how much we got out of that. We have to go for peasants. Get the popular opinion up. Prioritize the needs of peasants and barons. Clang of weapons and excited cheers draws me towards the courtyard. What is going on? I find two armored warriors engaged in a clumsy sparring match. I try not to cringe as one of them stumbles after an unnecessarily forceful swing. For a final reckless assault, one of the fighters disarms the other. To my surprise, he kneels before me and takes off his own. It's my vassal, Duke Robin of East Anglia. I dedicate this victory to Queen Alice, says solemnly. Bring you honours my only desire. You flatter me, my lord. As I'm about to bite into the most succulent piece of duck I've ever seen, one of my servants keels over, clutching his throat. Apparently the fool's been helping himself to taste my meal. At the very least, he served as a warning not to touch the tainted bird, while just seeing the punishment and discussion. Not only the assassination failed, but the clumsy trail of evidence leads behind this mastermind. Count Carroll, House Angler Winchester. Curse them all to hell. You son of a bitch. Attempted murder. I can't wait to get you soon. As I patiently wait to fetch you my clothes, the servant starts. No one can find your garments. I'm surrounded by incompetence, my mother, stormed from my chambers to my daughter Mary's room, and skipped not only my reins, but also the girl's wet nurse. I had no part in my need. She dressed herself. Counts responses given. Oh, scoundrel. Unjust tax burden. Lions of East Anglia. My daughter Mary has been speaking to me exclusively in the Volga. She does so remarkable proficiency. She tells me that her educators and clergy such as my archbishop have to thank her for the master of courtly tongue. Yeah, we still use that as the old court language. It hasn't gone to Anglic yet. I'll postpone it, unfortunately, because money's going elsewhere. United Front. Corruption's gone. University student donates gold to me by the Serene Doja because he's at the University of Canterbury. And of course I'm reminded that one day, we gotta get a duchy and and as well as this level thing to be up, unless I'm the whole owner of it. We gotta build a University of Oxford in the future. Also, look at the renown above there. We're about to have that dynasty legacy. Ignore that. Here we go. Home estates. Domain limit +1. Control territory defender advantage +5. And the next time, I'm thinking about, activities related. Or something along those lines. I mean, Hunt Feast costs cheaper. I mean, that's what I wanted. Yeah, it could be possibly glory. Possibly activities. Or even House of Warriors, as a remembrance for our old you know, our old Viking heritage from long ago. It kind of depends. I mean, it's a little far away to think about right now. Too far away to think about. When I sent out invitations to events, I was looking forward to an evening of good company and frivolous fun. Instead, I found stuck in a dreadful conversation with my vassal Duke but I think Lay's had enough of manner of as Duke Robin. Can I tell you a boring good Duke but I'm not staying a moment longer than I have to. There's no workforce. Excuse me. Mind if I look at that? Yeah, a lot more resilient. There's barely any progress on networks. That's why we gotta save our money to send them to Greenland support. But hey, at least you're getting more income now. Now that you dealt a domain limit, vassals like you more. But now let's end this episode by hey. When do we support again? Oh, later this year. Consecrate the Holy Well. So as long as this modifier is active, rulers who own a county is in or have domicile have access to the Holy Well activity. Historical context. Since the Neolithic, wells and springs have had importance among the people of the British Isles, regardless of ethnicity or religion. Though some recent scholarship has questioned the British Holy Well as a consistent concept, for instance, casting doubt whether there is any connection between pagan and Christian practices of the Holy Wells, other than the fact they revolve around water, it is certain that such wells have been sites of spirituality for generations. You have to be of the cultures that's either West Germanic, Goldelic, Celtic, and Berthonic, regardless of religion. Locate a suitable holy well. For as long as anyone can remember, sacred springs and holy wells have played an important role in the folklore and the daily life of the English people and Anglo-Saxons before us. Under my direction, Catholic priests have located a holy well in Middlesex and venerated locally that deserves more recognition as a site of veneration and prayer. After we perform the various ceremonies to consecrate this holy well, word is spreading fast around the region about its spiritual and healing properties. There is no doubt that this holy well will become an important focal point for local Catholic religious activity for many years. Great to hear. For the next 20 years. So, for here... It improves the bonuses to visit the holy well activity for rulers who own this county or taxes up. Control and power opinion. Great to hear. There's a holy well nearby that is a popular site of veneration among locals. I could pray and leave offerings to God there. There's no other holy wells like it. There's only one here. So we're ending an episode to visit this holy well. It's 2 months' time or so. We'll support Greenland, and among other things, in the next episode. Queen Mother died of asphyxiation during a violent coughing attack. She was known to be wheezing. For as long as anyone can remember, sacred springs and holy wells have played an important role in the folklore and daily life of the English people. Many people visit these wells, springs, or small pools of water scattered about the land for religious reasons. I am no different, and decided to visit a holy well of some renown in Middlesex. Once I arrive at the site, though it's relatively small, it is serene and humbling. I feel a sense of spiritual and physical peace I haven't felt in a while. I pray to God in a Catholic manner, and leave offerings before I depart. It was a wonderful experience all in all. 30% chance that you gain the healing waters of the Holy Well. But tiny bit of legitimacy, and the Holy Well's water bless you. Well, thanks. So now, we'll end this episode here. In the next episode, we're going to send support to Greenland. May possibly send somebody to exile to Greenland if anybody's willing to come. Like you in particular. Never you mind. Alright, come on, some people have to be willing. Tisk tisk tisk. It just depends on personalities and everything, rather than opinion. And as well as set a certain good courtier to, explore. Maybe Shlomo, perhaps. My new friend. It's like, how would you like to be an explorer? But probably not, since he has these court positions. And you got good skills. We could use you. And all that. And since we have much better income now, that means I'm going to be making lots of investments. Particularly down in Bruges. Now that we can see the structure of the Belfast of Bruges, as I pan the camera a little. See that structure there? Yeah, gotta make more investments to down there. Because I consider this as the third capital of England and Greater Normandy. Even though one day, England and Greater Normandy may split. Unless I have a say-so on disinheritance, since you gain renown greatly. So. And we're about to have heraldry in a year's time. So things are going to be looking up for us, finally. And then with time, if I do some more wandering, and pick up a few more perks, then you get another domain limit before I'll become architect. And then after that I'll switch over and may possibly do some intrigue, since I'm a little bit good with that. I mean, I don't know what to use it for, but still. So, I hope you people enjoyed this episode. So we'll see you in the next one, but until then, so long for now.